Thanks everybody for being here. We will run through this agenda and get any questions answered and get our meeting started at 6 o'clock. All right, first we have approval of minutes, May 10th, 2021, 5 p.m. work session, May 17th, 2021, 9:30 a.m. work session, City Council regular meeting, May 17th, 2021, 10 a.m., and City Council special called meeting, May 24th, 2021, 4 p.m. Any questions? All right, next we have public hearings, ordinance number 21-4460, approve rezoning request 1372-21, 1210 Mill Road, R3 to B6. Lee, come tell us what that one is.
This is 1210 Mill Road, rezoning a .28 acre parcel from R3 single family residential to B6 office district. The Planning Commission did not recommend approval of this item.
Okay, any questions for Lee? Thank you, sir. All right, resolution number 21-127, approve request for a restaurant retail liquor license for the Moody Crab Incorporated at 1241 Point Mallard Parkway, Suite 406, Decatur, Alabama 35601. Kyle.
Evening, Council. This is a request for a restaurant retail liquor license from Moody Crab. They're in the Crossings Shopping Center, and it's recommended for approval.
All right, any questions? Thanks. All right, next we have weed abatements. District 1, resolution number 21-128, assess $285 against 1210 Cloverdale Avenue Southwest for the cost of abatement of nuisance. Do you want me to read all these? You just want to let David talk about them? All right.
Let David talk.
David.
The only change that we need to make is on item F, we need to remove it.
Okay.
And that should be it for me.
Okay, any other questions for David? Good job, David. All right, resolutions, resolution number 21-136, approve bulletproof vest grant application. Suzanne.
This is a grant application with a 50% reimbursement up to $14,651.
Okay, so we have, it's a 50% match.
50% match of $29,302.
Okay. Any questions on that one? All right, thanks, Suzanne. Resolution number 21-137, award bid number 21-015 for PVC pipe and fittings to Site 1 Landscaping. Charles.
Yes, sir, Council President Ladner. This resolution and the next one are standing bids that expired, require a rebid on them. We got one response on each one. The PVC pipe one, I don't know how long we're gonna be able to hold because PVC's gone up 3 or 4 times since the first of the year. So.
Okay, any questions for Charles? All right, next one's resolution number 21-138, award bid number 21-016 for opening and closing graves to Osborne Grave Services.
That's another one that expired, and he went up $5 over the previous 3 years.
Okay.
So it's reasonable.
All right, any questions? All right, thanks, Charles. Resolution number 21-139, approve the city employee safety program enhancement injury triage program.
Good evening, Council. This particular resolution is to allow us to move from a current process which we have currently right now. When someone gets injured or something like that at work, we then process that person, get the information. The supervisors then have someone or themselves escort them to the clinic, the treatment and everything else. Now what this is going to do, this new process is going to move us to more of a triage program, kind of like Teladoc, if you will. And then that'll allow us to save the amount of money that would have been would have cost the city initially had the employee went straight to the clinic. Currently, right now, we have in excess of approximately 40 different incidents each year requiring medical attention. This particular program, we believe, is estimated to save us approximately 15 of those 40 different incidents each year at relatively a cost of about $600 per incident.
Any questions for Rodney?
So what will you be doing different with the new program again? So like, would it keep you from taking them to the ER? Or, I mean, what would, I'm confused at what you just said.
That's perfectly fine. It's exactly like a teledoc. So what they'll do is they'll call a particular 1-800 number that we have set up for them. This is through the Municipal Workers' Comp Fund. They'll call their triage nurse. The triage nurse will take their information over the phone, talk to them about the injury and about the incident, recommend some form of treatment, if the treatment requires additional medical treatment beyond just what a teledoc can actually do, then they'll be referred to the clinic.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Resolution number 21-140, approve organizational structure changes for street and environmental services and engineering. Michelle.
Yes, as we know, Mr. Terry is retiring this year. Hate to see him go. But we took the time to do an operational assessment, make a determination on if what we've always done is the right thing to continue as we go forward. And we're recommending that the street department, who works closely with the engineering department, now report to the engineering department. Remove that responsibility out from under the environmental services. And once that change is made, there's some other things that will happen in here, but that change will just adjust some job descriptions to remove street references and update environmental services to show that it's strictly solid waste and garage. So the street department, Wayne Wiscavige and staff would now report up through the city engineer under this recommendation. It's operational efficiency.
Okay, any questions? All right, next is resolution number 21-141, approve recruitment for Director of Environmental Services.
Yep. Contingent upon the approval of the prior resolution, then this would launch the recruitment process for the revised job description for Environmental Services Director, who is then responsible for solid waste and garage, and the office staff remaining in the Environmental Services office. We can't do one without the other.
Okay. Any questions? All right, next is resolution number 21-142, vacation request 531-21, Old House LLC drainage, utility, and telecommunications easement.
Yes, this is a request for a vacation of a small portion of a utility easement in the River Road Estates subdivision that's being developed.
Okay. Any questions for Lee? All right, thank you, sir. Resolution number 21-143, approved budget amendment of $87,000 for Highway 20 Bibb Garrett interchange rights of way acquisition. Kyle.
This is a budget adjustment for some legal costs. Herman could probably give you more specific details other than what is written, which is a bond premium for the right-of-way. I think it's because of the timing of it. It's been over a year now, so it's time to renew again for the bond premiums. But what we've done is we've split it to where $62,000 of that 87 will come out of the unassigned fund balance, and then the remaining $25,000 will be paid for out of contract services from the legal department.
Okay. Any questions? All right, next is resolution number 21-144, approved change order number 2 for Bibb Garrett interchange. Who's gonna take that one?
See if,
Is that Carl?
I'm on the phone.
Hey, Carl.
Yes, I'm on the phone.
All right.
Apologize for not being here in person. This change order, in the two buildings that were coming down the racetrack and old Chevron station, there was asbestos and lead paint that needed to be abated. And this change order for just under $7,400 was for abating that asbestos and lead paint in those buildings.
Okay. Any questions on that one? Next is resolution number 21-145, approved change order number 3 for the Bibb Garrett interchange.
Yeah, this one is approving some aggregate for the construction, I guess going under some of the bridge abutment area. It's a line item or a material that was not set up in the original bid, but this is a cheaper way of getting where we want to be, even though it is a change order. It is the best route to go, and if we need this material later in the project, we have it set up in the bid.
Okay, any questions for Carl? All right. Next is resolution number 21-146, approved budget amendment for the Wilson Morgan walkway path. Carl?
Yeah, I was requested to look into paving the walking path around Wilson Morgan Lake. And so we read an estimate and put it on the agenda. We estimate that cost to be about $90,000.
Okay, do you want to talk about this at all? No? Jason?
I'll say this, I'll be fine with tabling the matter during the council meeting until we can further discuss the matter.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I think I've had a couple of residents ask me about, I guess they saw it or heard about it, about paving the walkway at Wilson Morgan. But I think probably need to have more conversation with Jason on that, so we can table it if that's what the group wants to do. Thanks, Carl. Any other questions? All right, the next two, we're gonna reverse the order on those. Mr. Marks requested we do that. So first we'll take resolution number 21-148, funds advanced for 6th Avenue Improvement Project to be reimbursed from anticipated warrant issue. Herman?
I wasn't sure if Kyle was going, but the reason we swapped on this is because the law allows if you have a large project and you want to borrow money and you have some preliminary cost, if you go ahead and address the preliminary cost, then you can, if you do in fact have the large warrant or bond issue, you can recoup or reimburse the city for advancing whatever that cost is. So in this case, to be more definitive, the $792,000 for the Volkert proposal to do the preliminary work, if it would be part of a larger project, namely, it's estimated right now at $8 million. And if we do in fact go ahead with an $8 million project and decide to borrow the money, if y'all do, then we could be reimbursed for this $792,000 out of those bond proceeds. So what you do is if you anticipate a bond issue or a warrant issue, you do a resolution to notify the public and, more importantly, Internal Revenue Service and others that look at those kind of things. So what we're doing here is, all that rhetoric aside, we're going to basically, if y'all decide to vote for the Volkert preliminary project, then you can approve that, and then it would be part of a larger project if you decide to do that also. But you don't want to, you want to go ahead and establish the preliminary expenditure before you go back and approve the actual expenditure. So what M does is it just says we anticipate a warrant issue of about $8 million, and you pass that, and we're saying that we're anticipating some preliminary cost that will be incurred in advance by the city prior to us going to the bond market. That doesn't mean you have to go to the bond market. I want to make sure you understand that.
I guess on the order of it, wouldn't we need to approve the actual expenditure first before we would need to approve the resolution that
well-
says we can go back and?
No, what you're doing is you're saying, you're doing it in this order because you have to, before you authorize the expenditure, you have to make it part of the larger issue.
Okay.
Now, in all openness, it probably wouldn't make any difference, but
Right.
why? Since we've got this opportunity, I mean, you can do it if you do it within 5 minutes, but
Gotcha.
what you're doing is you're saying, we want to go ahead and approve the preliminary cost if we in fact do go to the bond market. And then you come back and approve the actual expenditure.
Okay.
You're just doing it as part of the larger project.
All right, any questions for Herman?
Yeah. We've done this before, Mr. Jackson. We've done this many times before, so it's not
Okay. Yeah, I was
not a new
getting
opportunity here,
clarification.
really not. In fact, we do it most every time we anticipate a project like this.
Okay. All right, next one, any other questions? Next is resolution number 21-147, which is actually L. Approve Volker proposal for the 6th Avenue Improvement Project. Carl?
Yes, Mayor Council, this is the Volker fee to do the design, for those 6th Avenue improvements that Herman was just talking about. And, y'all will move forward with the project, this is what they're saying it costs to get the design going.
Okay, any questions for Carl? All right, next is ordinance number 21-4462, approve annual ad valorem tax levy for FY22 first reading.
It's not increasing any ad valorem.
Thank you. All right, any questions on that one? All right, we will get started with the meeting at 6 o'clock. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
That'll keep us once y'all finish your meeting.
Hey, that works.
Good. Thank you, Council President.
You're welcome.
Looking rather dapper there, Councilman. Council President, Council, what you have here is a plan for you to consider where we will start doing daily litter collection. That's Monday through Friday on the belt line, and that'll be from Highway 31 to Highway 20. And then the same will take place on Highway 31, beginning at Highway 67, heading south to our corporate limits. That's just, golly, back in the day, it was the KO station. I don't know what the name of the service station is now before you go up the hill to head into Hartselle.
Big A.
Big K, thank you.
Big A.
So it'll be that area. And then, so let me just stop with that. So that's 4 contract laborers, a total of 40 hours a week, 52 weeks in a year at $166,400. Then mowing in the same area on a weekly basis, where we've been doing it bi-weekly or having it done bi-weekly. And our mowing period is typically for 7 months. So if you look down at the bottom in that mowing section, there's a note, and it says the price total of $25,600 per month instead of the current price of $12,800. So we're just going to double that. But the thing about the $12,800, it is already in the approved budget for this fiscal year. So take the 7 months times the monthly total, that's 179,200 in a new year, okay? And then that gives us a combined annual trash and mowing total of $345,600. Now we look at just trying to measure the cost for the remaining budget year, which would be for FY '21, roughly 80 working days in that period. So for litter, we have $51,200, and the same for mowing, which comes to $102,400. And then our daily cost for that would be $1,280. And I've attached or just the proposals that we received. I learned today that the mowing agreement that we have in place with Kraft, we just moved to, I'm looking for Charles, thank you. We would just move to extend that to four times a month, or whatever the weeks in the month.
The way we did that was price per cut. We had the clause in there that allows us to increase or decrease the number of cuts.
However, for the litter collection, we would need to put that out for bid.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions? And the next move, if there are no questions, would be to get it on the next agenda.
So you're talking about Lynn Layton south to that gas station?
Yeah.
Big A?
Yes.
Okay.
And then all the belt on the,
Highway 20. Then from there to Highway 20.
From Lynn Layton?
From Lynn Lake to Highway 20.
yes, yes. And then this is really kind of a phase one. Then there's some other things that we want to do down 6th Avenue, some edging, things of that nature that will, again, just make the city to look better.
I guess I'm just a little, I'm curious on is it just that there's more areas that are grassy and have trash in them down that way?
Yes.
I never go that way, so.
Yes.
Okay.
And then some of the other areas, these areas is a little more challenging to get into the right-of-ways.
Yeah.
And some of the other areas, business owners, homeowners and such will go out and clean that up off of their right-of-ways.
Okay.
I appreciate you taking the time to look into this. I know we've heard, or I've heard a lot, how important it is, cutting the grass, pick up trash, and I agree with it. The one question I have, we get to a point where we're spending $350,000 a year. Jason, where do you think there could be a time in the next year or two where we could do that ourselves? I mean, I know at one point we were leasing the equipment. Right now we're short-staffed. But do you see a time when we could go back and control that ourselves? And if not, I mean, if it costs more, then if this is the better way to go with city money, then hey, my questions are finished.
We know that we're better to put this on contract.
Okay.
As far as how it shakes out. Now, do we hope to have our inmates back in the next month or so? Yeah, but I think what this is targeting our busiest area. And then, as the mayor's proposing, is making sure, because those are more traveled ways. And so it just makes sense, they need more water.
Right.
And will look better to those that are traveling through
Absolutely.
there. But that's also going to allow for our Department of Correction labor to be able to give more attention to the inner city.
To the other area, right.
Perfect.
But now, correct me, this is in addition to what we're already doing, correct, the 345?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, council.
All right, thanks, Mayor. Anything else? All right, we'll get started at 6 o'clock. All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Pastor Jimmy Meek with Parkview Baptist Church will lead us in our invocation and pledge.
Let's go to the Lord in prayer. God, thank you for this group tonight. Thank you for the time they give, the hours they give. Let them know that they're appreciated, that they're even loved, that they're prayed for out of obedience to what the Scripture tells us to do, to pray for our leaders. We really do love and appreciate and pray for them. So let them know that we say thank you to them. And most of all, we say thank you to you. We appreciate the life and the death and the resurrection of Jesus, and we pray all this in His powerful name. Amen. Let's say our pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Jimmy. Roll call.
Ladner.
Here.
McMasters.
Here.
Jackson.
Here.
Pike.
Here.
Pepper.
Here.
All right, first we have approval of minutes. First is May 10th, 2021, 5 p.m. work session.
So move.
Motion by Mr. McMasters, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Minutes are approved 5-0. Next is May 17th, 2021, 9:30 a.m. work session.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McMaster, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Minutes are approved 5-0. Next is City Council regular meeting, May 17th, 2021, 10 a.m.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McMaster, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Minutes are approved 5-0. City Council special called meeting, May 24th, 2021, 4 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McMasters, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Minutes are approved 5-0. Next we have public hearings. First is ordinance number 21-4460, approve rezoning request 1372-21, 1210 Mill Road, R3 to B6. Lee.
Mayor and council, this is vacation request I'm sorry, I got the wrong file. This is rezoning request 137221 to rezone a .28 acre parcel from R3 single family residential to B6 office district at 1210 Mill Road Southeast. The proposed land use is for an office building. The one Decatur future land use is residential low density, and the street typology for Mill Road is minor arterial. This item was not recommended for approval by the Planning Commission.
Okay, any questions for Lee? All right, this is a public hearing. If there's anyone here to speak on the matter, you can speak now. All right, seeing no one here to speak, I'll consider the public hearing closed.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. McMasters. Second. Second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion?
Why is it not recommended for the planning commission, excuse me?
It was considered spot zoning. It would be on an island by itself, a business use in the middle of a larger residential zone.
Okay, and the neighbors, how did they feel about it? Just out of curiosity.
Generally negative in this case.
Okay, just curious. Thank you.
It is, it's right there by kind of Dollar General area in Flint, and there's house, and then this request, a couple houses and Dollar General there.
And who's the applicant on this?
Incorrect. This is Yvette Fuller.
Do we know exactly what they'll put there by any chance?
The way it was described to me, it was an office building for a community center type that she was considering.
Yeah. From
Was
what
it
I,
actually an office building or was it a day center? Wasn't that what it was? A day center?
An office use, I think she was exploring the option or the opportunity to start a day center, but at the beginning.
Like the first discussion that we were given was an office building and there was gonna be some kind of real estate. And she started pursuing, looking at other things after the.
it was an event center that she talked about in the actual planning commission meeting, yes.
Okay. I was thinking that they were doing, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chip, but I was thinking they were doing group homes and this was like a day center for their patients. And that was my concern, was that, it was gonna be, it was gonna be a business because they had to list it like that, but it's gonna be a day center where.
That would have
residents would be.
prompted a lot of response, and the response that we were getting from people was that what other kind of businesses would go there because they were going to business.
That's true. I understand.
All right, any other discussion?
Thank you.
Roll call?
Ladner,
No.
McMasters,
No.
Jackson,
No.
Pike,
No.
Pepper.
No.
Ordinance number 21-4460 fails, vote of 5-0. Resolution number 21-127, approve request for a restaurant retail liquor license for the Moody Crab Incorporated at 1241 Point Mallard Parkway, Suite 406, Decatur, Alabama 35601.
Evening, council. This is a request for a restaurant retail liquor license for the Moody Crab. It is recommended for approval.
All right, this is another public hearing. If there's anyone here to speak on the matter, you can speak now. Seeing no one here to speak, we'll consider the public hearing closed.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. McMasters. Second. Second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner,
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson,
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-127 is approved with a vote of 5-0. Next, we have our weed abatements. I know in the pre-meeting, David said we need to remove F. David, tell us about these. Any comments?
These are just routine weed abatements. We'll do a tax lien for each of these, a special assessment.
Okay. All right, let's, we can take these one at a time. Resolution number 21-128, assess $285 against 1210 Cloverdale Avenue Southwest for the cost of abatement of nuisance.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McMasters, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner,
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson,
No.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-128 is approved with a vote of 4-1. Next is resolution number 21-129, assess $285 against 423 Memorial Drive Northwest for the cost of abatement of nuisance.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McMasters, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner,
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
No.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-129 is approved 4-1. Resolution number 21-130, assess $285 against 412 West Moulton Street Northwest for the cost of abatement of nuisance.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. McMasters. Second. Second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner,
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
No.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-130 is approved 4-1. Resolution number 21-131, assess $285 against the corner lot at Runnymede Avenue Southwest and Leanne Street Southwest for the cost of abatement of nuisance.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McMasters, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner,
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
No.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Abstain.
Resolution number 21-131 is approved with a vote of 3-1 with 1 abstention. District 2, resolution number 21-132, assess $285 against 1518 Sherman Street Southeast for the cost of abatement of nuisance.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McMaster, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
No.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-132 is approved with a vote of 4 to 1. Resolution number 21-134, assess $285 against 1039 East Moulton Street Southeast for the cost of abatement of nuisance.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McMaster, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
No.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-134 is approved 4 to 1. Resolution number 21-135, assess $285 against 515 Carolyn Street Southwest for the cost of abatement of nuisance.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McMaster, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
No.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-135 is approved 4 to 1. Thank you,
Thank
Mr. Leeds. All right, resolutions. Resolution number 21-136, approved bulletproof vest grant application.
Yes, this grant is for $29,302 with a 50% required match of $14,651.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. McMaster.
Second.
Second by Mr. Jackson. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-136 is approved 5-0. Resolution number 21-137, award bid number 21015 for PVC pipe and fittings to Site 1 Landscaping.
Council President Ladner, Council Mayor, I'm Charles Booth, purchasing agent for the city. We issued a bid for PVC pipe and fittings and got one response from Site 1 Landscaping, and we recommend award to them.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. McMasters, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-137 is approved 5-0. Resolution number 21-138, award bid number 21016 for opening and closing graves to Osborne Grave Services.
Yes, sir, he was a sole respondent there, and would recommend award to him also.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. McMaster, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-138 is approved 5-0. Next, we have resolution number 21-139, approve the city employee safety program enhancement injury triage program. Rodney.
Rodney Shepherd, City Safety Specialist. This resolution is to move the city in a phased approach to a more of a teledoc requirement for reporting injuries. Our current process requires that the employees notify their supervisor and then get sent to the clinic. So we're going to try to move that to there. This will help us comply with the Municipal Workers' Compensation Fund process that they're actually going to, and will help us retain our 10% discounts that we receive.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McMaster, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
No.
Resolution number 21-139 is approved with a vote of 4 to 1. Resolution number 21-140, approve organizational structure changes for street and environmental services and engineering. Michelle.
Rochelle Sandlin, HR Department. This is coming forward as a recommendation to adopt in our pay structure and our organizational structure a change in reporting alignment to move the street department up under the engineering department. And there are several changes to job classifications that would accompany that. And they are listed in your package. You see the revised org structure. You also see with each job description a summary at the end of each of those of what the changes were in those job descriptions. And essentially it removes references to the street department for those positions historically assigned to environmental street director position.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. McMasters,
Second.
Second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion?
Yeah, I'll say that this is a major change. I mean, this is not just a run-of-the-mill change, it's a major change that's gonna impact basically every day of our city operation in some form or fashion. This is the first discussion that we've had on this. There is no public discussion about this, no discussion among council members as far as how this is gonna impact the city, how it might impact the city budgetarily, or any other aspect of how it's gonna impact us. So in my mind, this completely lacks transparency. And so I think that it always behooves us to discuss things in the most open way so that not only are we more comfortable with the decisions that we make, but our public is comfortable with the decisions, or not comfortable with the decisions that we make, but they're understanding what's going on. Now, I know that there was an article in the newspaper, and I got all sorts of calls pertaining to that article, but they were mostly from employees, fearful of what was going to happen to them, and I had no idea, so I couldn't answer many of the questions. I understand that Ricky Terry is leaving, and however you feel about that, you know, I don't know that we should rush into this situation because of what's going on. We at times have worked, and I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, Wayne and Kip, that we worked for about 1.5 years with Franklin Parham as superintendent, who ran our department while we were in search of a department head for that area. So we have two very capable superintendents here who, you know, it'd be nice to have a department head for those departments, but to separate these departments who have, that have been together for decades now, simply because the personnel board, and by the way, the personnel board members have never worked at Public Works, so they don't know the day in, day out operation of our operation there. So, you know, it's easy to sit behind a desk and say, yeah, this is the right thing, but in my mind, our obligation to our citizens would be to sit and to talk with these two guys and Ricky Terry and kind of figure out which direction we need to move in, not what they want. And I'm not really interested in what the two of them want, but I'm interested in what their thoughts are as to what direction we need to move in and what's going to be most impactful for us moving forward from this point. Is it going to be impactful better for us to move the street department in with engineering? Is it going to be, and divide the two? Is it going to be better for us to move all the entire department under the engineering department, where maybe Carl Pruitt could direct all of the departments, that and engineering, and move that away from developmental? I just think that there's too much discussion to be had for us to rush into something. And beyond that, this is a short week. We didn't have a work session last week. We deal with it and we read it on the agenda 30 minutes ahead of time, and now we're going to make something that's going to be this impactful to our city. I just don't know that this is our best move. Many of the departments, many of the operations that we have down there are shorthanded now, and we need to know all of those things. I think I was told by one of the workers that our sweeper group has 6 pieces of equipment, and we have 5 people operating those. We can't even operate what we have down there. So I think it's important for us to get the full scope of the situation before we actually go in and make changes that are going to be this impactful. I just think it's fair not only to us as the decision makers, but it's fair to our citizens so that we give it the true emphasis and understanding and weight that it deserves. So I will not support this tonight because I think we're running into something that there's no real rush to run into.
I'll just say that I'm going to second what Mr. Jackson said. I think that we should table this matter, and I'd like to make a motion to table it for further discussion.
All right, we got a motion to table.
I'll second that.
Second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion on tabling?
I'm good with that. It deserves discussion.
So if I could add just some meat to that, the discussions that happened with the mayor, the department managers, Ricky Terry was involved and engineering was involved, and we spent, I don't know, Mayor, what, a month and a half discussing the implications and the strategic alignment to that. So those discussions that happened, and internally, I do respect that the council might like to have some more time to understand what those changes are. But to Mr. Jackson's points, those discussions were had with these gentlemen
But
and
with
the
all due
department
respect, the
head.
mayor's not a voting member, neither is Ricky Terry nor you, and the
No,
mayor.
I did everything that you talked about,
Right.
Councilman. As did HR. Everything was slowly reviewed as before we presented this to personnel and before we brought it to the council.
Slowly does not always
That's
equate
what
to
you're asking
adequately.
for.
Yeah, no, I'm asking for thorough. I'm asking for adequate
It's
discussion.
just
And
words.
not, yeah, I want to slow down so that we can have thorough and adequate discussion. I think it's important, when we're as understaffed as we are right now, Mayor, and we are, and you know that, but we're as understaffed as we are in that particular department, there are a lot of things that are being impacted, and we're not able to conduct services as we need to right now.
But what is not moving forward going to do about that?
It gives us an opportunity to talk to people who might be able to give us better ideas. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for thoroughness.
The only thing that I'm going to add to that is no disrespect whatsoever towards you, Ms. Hamlin, or Mr. Mayor, or anybody else that was involved in these conversations. I know that y'all have a lot more experience than I do, and I'm a lot more experienced than the majority of it, except Mr. Jackson has been here a long time. But I don't feel comfortable voting on something that I have no clue what it's. I mean, I have no clue about it. I haven't been involved in any of these conversations. I haven't been involved in any of it. I never knew this was coming on except for when it was put on the agenda. You know, we weren't informed of anything. And it's like you said a little bit ago, we discussed this in a work session an hour prior to the meeting. And I don't feel comfortable voting on something that we've only had an hour to discuss when we're not necessarily being informed on everything all at once, if that makes any sense. I'm not saying that your judgment's bad whatsoever. I support your judgment 100%. But I would feel more comfortable voting on something that I'm more informed on as I'm elected to do. I mean, I'm elected to represent the people that I represent, and that they're elected me to be informed on things that I'm voting on. So and I would feel more comfortable doing that, getting more informed on the matter.
Other than the recruitment aspect, slowing it down till a couple of weeks, does it impact you negatively at all?
Other than that, no. That's,
Like I said, we've operated for over a year with Franklin Parham and didn't miss a beat. I think that might have been one of the smoothest times that we've had when Franklin was running it, because we had a capable person. And I trust these two guys, have worked with them for years, and I think they're capable of, regardless of how long we have to go. And I'm not suggesting that we do it indefinitely, but regardless of how long we have to go, I think that we're in good hands with these guys if we have to go for any period of time.
and I think the mayor and I would agree with you wholeheartedly on that.
Especially Kip.
All right, we have a motion to table, Mr. Pepper, second by Mr. Pike. Any other discussion? All right, roll call.
Ladner,
No.
McMasters,
Aye.
Jackson,
Aye.
Pike,
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Motion is tabled with a vote of 4-1. We would need to table the next item.
I would think so, yeah, it's irrelevant now.
All right, resolution number 21-141, approve recruitment for Director of Environmental Services.
I'd like to move to table it.
A motion to table by Mr. McMaster.
Second.
Second by Mr. Pepper. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner,
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson,
Aye.
Pike,
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Motion to table resolution number 21-141 is approved 5-0. All right, resolution number 21-142, vacation request 531-21, Old House LLC drainage, utility, and telecommunications easement. Lee.
Mayor and Council, this is vacation request 53121. The applicant is Purat McAnally for Old House LLC. The location is lot number 29 of River Road Estates, and the request is to vacate a portion of a DUT easement along the east side of lot 29.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McMaster, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner,
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson,
Aye.
Pike,
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-142 is approved 5-0. Resolution number 21-143, approved budget amendment of $87,000 for Highway 20 Bibb Garrett interchange rights-of-way acquisition.
Yes, this is a resolution for a budget amendment of $87,000 for bond premiums, legal fees related to bond premiums on the Bibb Garrett interchange right-of-way acquisition. The cost is split out two ways: $62,000 from the unassigned fund balance, and then $25,000 from contract services in the legal department.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McMaster, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-143 is approved 5-0. Resolution number 21-144, approved change order number 2 for Bibb Garrett interchange. Carl, are you still there?
I am. Yeah, this is a change order for just under $7,400 for the abatement of asbestos and lead paint in the two service stations that were being torn down for the project, and we recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McMaster, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-144 is approved 5-0. Resolution number 21-145, approved change order number 3 for the Bibb Garrett interchange.
Yes, Mayor Council, this is a change order that adds aggregate to our bid for the project. It's needed to, I guess, help with some of the bridge abutment areas. It was left out of the contract, or that line item has been left out of the contract. This is a cheaper way of handling what needs to be done, and I would recommend approval.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. McMaster,
Second.
second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-145 is approved 5-0. All right, next is resolution number 21-146, approved budget amendment for the Wilson Morgan Walkway Path.
I'd like to make a motion to table this matter for further discussion as well.
All right, we have a motion to table by Mr. Pepper.
Second.
Second by Mr. Pike. All right, any discussion? Roll. Go ahead.
I just, so Carl, you said it was $90,000?
Yes, sir.
We have got, and I know some people would like to see that paved, but we've got a police force that is one of the lowest paid in North Alabama. I think we've got some better needs than paving a walking trail I haven't heard anybody complain about. And that's all I'm gonna say.
All right, any other discussion? This is a motion to table. Yep, roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Motion to table resolution number 21-146 is approved 5-0. Next, we're reversing L and M, so we'll take M first. Resolution number 21-148, funds advanced for Sixth Avenue Improvement Project to be reimbursed from anticipated warrant issue.
In a nutshell, the law provides if you have a large project and there may be some preliminary cost, and you want to spend that money before you potentially go to the bond market, if you adopt a resolution saying that we anticipate spending these preliminary expenses and we anticipate potentially getting them out of a bond issue, you're allowed to spend the money or advance the money and then take it from the bond proceeds. Otherwise, if you do not do this, you cannot reimburse the city for expenditures that if you've made prior to the resolution being adopted. So the reason we're wanting to do this is to give us flexibility, or the city flexibility, that we can spend money on a larger project, namely the Sixth Avenue project, which we estimate to be about $8 million, and spend what will be the next one that Carl will explain, some preliminary cost. Otherwise, you would not be able to be reimbursed because you've spent the money before you approved it, okay? I mean, approved the expenditure
Right.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. McMasters.
Second.
Second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner,
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
No.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-148 is approved 4-1. Next is L, resolution number 21-147, approve Volker proposal for the Sixth Avenue Improvement Project. Carl?
Yes, Mayor, Council, this is a local proposal to do the design work for those, Sixth Avenue improvements. And we need to approve it to move forward the project.
All right.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. McMasters,
Second.
second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner,
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
No.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-147 is approved. Next, we have ordinance number 21-44, approve annual ad valorem tax levy for FY 2022. This is a first reading. Anybody have any discussion, questions? All right. All right, our next regular work session will be on June 14th, 2021 at 5 p.m. And the next regular council meeting will be on June 21st, 2021 at 10 a.m. Anything else from any directors? Anything else from the mayor? Anything else from council? All right, we are adjourned.